Okay, folks, I'm pretty excited to be looking at these two chainsaws today. And what we're looking at are the two newest and largest chainsaws from Ego. This one in the front, that's the Ego CS2000. This is available at stores like Lowe's. I'm not sure where else, but retailers. And then this is the commercial series CSX5000, and that's something I think you could get it at like a hardware store or a landscaping supply type place. Sohar's RCPW online has been really good to deal with for me. So let's go over the differences between these two chainsaws. They're both big bar, 20 inch, the biggest you can get in any cordless chainsaw right now. But we'll take a look at this one first, the CS2000. So looking at the CS2000, I got these kitted. You can get them individually. If they're individual, the CS2000 is 300, the CSX5000 is 400. As a kit, it's 500 for the CS2005, I think it is, and the CSX5007 is 650. So let's take a look at these saws, how they perform, and if the price difference is going to be worth it for you for your use for a saw. So the first thing is, in the kit, the 2000 comes with a 6 amp hour battery and a 320 watt charger. So that's what you get for the 500 bucks. The 5000 comes with an 8 amp hour battery and a 550 watt, I think, 550 watt charger. So it's a bit more battery, a bit more charger, and that's $650. So the CS2000 claims has the equivalent power of a 55cc gas saw. Comes with a 6 amp battery. It has a max chain speed of 25 meters per second. You can adjust it 25, 20, and 15 meters per second. It comes with a 3/8 low profile, full chisel bar and chain, 69 drive links, which is kind of a little bit of an odd number. See, it's got these nice aggressive bucking spikes on it. It comes with a 320 watt charger. You see it's got the little headlight on it with high beams and low beams, and a display here. And then speaking of displays, you got a display here, and you can adjust your chain speed. You get 3 different settings for your chain speed. Tells you your battery life. You got an indicator for your brake, and when you turn the light on, you'll get an indication of any lighting, high beams or low beams on there. I figure I better put the battery in so you can see it. So there's our speed indicator. It tells us we got 4 bars of battery. It tells us the brake's on, and now the light, super light, no light. Let's see what that looks like. Light, super light, no light. The grip's pretty nice. You squeeze this with your thumb and then pull the trigger, but it won't let it go because the brake's on. This 2000, it comes with a 5-year warranty on the tool and a 3-year warranty on the battery. Now, let's take a look at the 5000 and see the differences. Oh, the other thing on the 2000 is it's got the built-in scrunch underneath. It's got a plastic or ABS, I don't know what you call it. It's a molded wrap to grab onto, but there's no metal in there. So going to the CSX5000, which also you see a lot of similar features here, but this is also a 20-inch bar, but it's a 325 pitch. It's a full chisel chain, just like the 2000, but if you look at the bar, it's kind of got more of a traditional chainsaw bar, gas chainsaw bar look to it. And because it's 325, I believe it's 78 teeth, 78 drive links on there, as opposed to this, was it 69? just an odd number. All right, so we come over here. We got a metal wrap bar on it. Exact same style brake on this. This has the equivalent power of a 60cc saw. It doesn't, so this one, it says it's 3,500 watts, that's like 4 2/3 horsepower. It doesn't give a watts for the 2000, but it gives a watts for the 5000, which is 3,500 watts. Again, it has that 8 amp battery, and if we look here on the display, it's very similar, but it's set up a little bit different. So when you turn that thing on, you get your battery indicator and your speed, but this has the oiling. You can change how much you're oiling, 1, 2, or 3 levels, and then you have a load indicator when you're using it and you're cutting, that load indicator will go up. And then when you put on the chain brake, it shuts it off, and you get an indicator that the chain brake's on. And then same thing with the light, you got kind of a high beams, low beams thing, off, low, high, off. We'll take a look. I'm sure that's the exact same light. And we got 3 bars on our battery. Oh, sorry, the speed control is over here with the thumb one. You got 30 meters per second full speed. I think your eco's 20, 25, and full speed at 30. And it's the same style grab, but it won't because the brake's on. Now this does not have the built-in scrunch, but instead it's got magnesium, I think. It's got a metal bottom plate, and that's meant to dissipate heat from the motor when it's running. And then the cover plate on this is metal on the 5000. The cover plate on the 2000's a molded cover plate. Alright, so I have these 2 saws on the table next to each other, and I'd like to weigh them both without oil, but this already has some oil in it. This is 12.5 pounds, no oil, but I'm going to fill them both up, and that way we'll have an idea. And I'll weigh them without the battery, because you can switch batteries around between them, so you can change that. But I'll weigh them without the battery, and then I'll weigh this with the 8 and this with the 6, so kind of as they come in the kit. You can put lower amp hour batteries in each of these, but it will, the saw will automatically derate the meters per second. I think a 6, this will still run full speed, but it will derate itself to 25 meters per second if it's any lower than that. And I believe if this is less than I can't remember, I want to say if it's less than a 6, it will derate. This plate, they each have captured nuts, which I love. I'm a big fan of captured nuts. Just, you don't lose them. And I like this little rubber piece for shooting the chips. They both have it. All right. First on the scales, both full of oil. Ego commercial. And we have 13 pounds, 7 ounces full of oil. Next on the scale is the Ego CS2000. 12 pounds, 11 ounces full of oil. So not a huge weight difference. Less than a pound. Ounces difference. Now, let's put the batteries in and see what the difference is. So, the CS2000, fully oiled, full battery, ready to go as it comes in the kit with the recommended battery, 19 pounds, 1 ounce. And the CSX5000, same, full of oil, battery with the recommended from the kit, ready to go, 20 pounds, 4 ounces. So 1 pound 3 ounces difference, about a pound and a quarter more for the commercial, and a fair amount of that weight's the difference in the battery size. But enough looking at these things. We'll get a full charge on the battery and we're gonna do some cutting. All right, we got our logs set up. We got both the Ego chainsaws. We're gonna make a few cuts. Now, the Ego commercial, I've already made a few cuts on the chain, and the chain looks like something that I gotta order through Ego, and it's like 35 bucks. And I've had pretty good luck with Oregon. So I'll do a few cuts with the original chain, but then I'm gonna be switching to a Oregon LPX series chain. It's a 20 LPX 78 tooth. So just as a heads up, but these first few cuts will be with the original chain, but it has a few cuts on it. The commercial, the CS2000, which we'll be starting with, doesn't have any cuts on it yet. Full speed. Well, obviously I'm leaning on the saw pretty hard for these cuts, just kind of feeling it out. Same thing, this is going to be full speed on the Ego, oh, did I get the batteries wrong? No, that's the 8.0. Alright, full speed on the Ego commercial. Alright, I'm going to let the saw do a little bit more of the work on these cats. Now I'm going to switch the Ego commercial to the 25 meter per second setting to see what kind of difference it makes. All right, again with the CS2000. And now, just to keep everything fair, I put a new chain on the CSX5000 commercial. All right, we got a pretty good chunk or some chunks of wood going. Next, I'm just gonna do cuts with each one. I'll do cuts with the CS2000 until the battery runs out or it overheats, and then I'll switch over to the CSX5000. So CS2000 endurance cuts. All right, and we've cashed the battery out. I'm not sure how many cuts that was, but well, the battery, we got the overheat light of death. Next up is the CSX5000. All right, and we didn't get nearly as far with the CSX5000 because that thing's just pulling a lot more power. Now I know from experience, if I go easier on the saw, it'll last longer. But when I'm using the full power of the saw, it heats up the battery. So I didn't count it, but I'm sure that was less cuts than the the CS2000. So I might try it in the 25 meter per second setting after it cools down and see what we can do with that and what kind of difference it makes. But there's the test. Now I'm going to put the 8 amp battery in the Fireman Ranch and see if it makes a difference. same battery in the commercial. I'll do a couple cuts at 30 and then a couple at 25. I guess that's what I get. Okay, this is the Ego CS2000 with the 8 amp battery, fully charged. All right. Oh, there it is. Okay, somehow I missed the record button, but I put the 6 amp battery in after I put this log up, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16 cuts, which is actually the same as we got before on that log. We got 15 and a half, and I put it down just like before. I put the saw down here and I went to readjust the log, and the battery overheated sitting there not doing anything while I was adjusting the log. I mean, it was already hot, but it caught up, and the temperature sensor, whatever, the BMS was like, oh, too hot, got another red light. So it's good to know though, because it wasn't the saw, it was the battery, because I put another battery in and got 16 more cuts on that log. All right, so my conclusion on these two saws here, this commercial CSX5000 and the CS2000, is that this is unquestionably a better built, more powerful saw, like hands down. However, I think that the saw exceeds Ego's battery limitations right now. So for a saw that you're going to use and work with, like, this is actually a better saw, I think, because it's better matched to the limitations currently of Ego's batteries. if they come out with something that can handle that load that this puts on it better, this is absolutely a better saw. But you can't really use its power for very long without trashing out a battery. If you're going to do a few cuts or you're going to take it easy, then it's okay. But if you're going to take it easy, why do you have all that extra power? It's unfortunate because I love this saw. It's great. But the batteries need to come up to handle the power. So that's kind of my overview. Certainly open to hearing anything that people have. I like trying these saws out. I like doing these reviews. It's pretty cool. It's a new frontier, and I got into it just because I was so impressed with what these electric saws, these cordless saws, can do compared to what they used to be able to. So please, any comments? I hope this information was helpful and useful. If you enjoyed it, please give me a like. If you want to see more of this stuff, give me a subscribe, and thanks for watching.